Good morning. Welcome. Welcome to this series of readings for your tarot card of the year. Yesterday, when I signed on, I talked a little bit about different ways to select your tarot card. And I had done a previous video talking about the numerological way to select your card. Yesterday, I expressed that some people actually choose their card by random selection, shuffling the cards. And I found that very mind opening. And honestly, I am open to any way that that one wishes to choose their card of the year. And this has led me down another little bit of a rabbit hole, and that is how I'm going to proceed with these videos, because today is a very important video in that reading, because for some of you, 8 is your focus. This card's strength is a number 8 for you, and I want to recognize that this can not only be your card of the year, but this reading will be for you the energy of 2024. Um, so there's that piece. And then there's the piece about how I'm going to proceed with these readings. Am I just going to go from today to 12, 13, 14 to 22, which is the Fool, and then on and do the other cards? Well, in the end, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a reading for every single card, and I'm going to carry on in this sequence. But I want to explain something to you, because I know some of you will be feeling a little bit impatient in this regard. So I'm going to share my screen. Window. There we go. Okay. Now let's see if I can I blow this up a little bit like this? Okay. Some of you know that I love to play with Excel, and this is always of a fascination to me, these patterns with numbers. And so I have this chart that contains the calculation for everybody's number. So if your birthday is on the 1st of January, then your number is 10 for this year if you're doing this form of numerological calculation. And the pattern this year is such that there will be nobody whose tarot card is 17 through 22 or to 4. So what I was going to do, so in January, the highest will be 15, which is the Devil. And if we go over to, I think we have to go all the way over to March. That's when we hit our first 16. Sorry. It might not even be till April. Where are we here? There's in May. So I think the first 16 is not until spring. There's one there. So if your birthday is on the 30th of May, then you have a number 16. So this is really interesting to me, and I want to honor every way that people choose to draw these cards. Now, I also found a blog yesterday where someone did this method of calculating their tarot card of the year that I had never seen before. It was numerological, but it just reminded me that if you're using another system that is numerological, there will always be a correspondence because of the way that numbers work. So the reduction will always be the same, and so therefore you will have many cards from which to, resource your reading. So if you have questions about this, please write to me. I love talking about this kind of thing, and I won't belabor this point any longer, but I'm open and I'm flexible. And if I say one thing about, this is the energy of da 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 da, please know that my heart, my mind expands to include everything. Okay, so welcome. My name is Sadhana, for those of you that are popping in new, and lovely to have you here. So, as I was saying, 2024 is an 8 year, and for many people, the card of focus today, which is strength, will represent your 2024 year. I am shifting into a Tarot de Marseille year and focusing my energy on 2024 as a year of karmic balance, the justice energy. So I will speak to this card in both ways today. Welcome. Okay, so take a breath in and out, and please enjoy this poem. This is from a series of poems written by Lloyd Hageland for the Voyager Tarot. Strength. Strength is feline and flexible. Its gaze can kill or bless. Let's put the cards into the screen here. Strength is feline and flexible. Its gaze can kill or bless. Strength is within us all, stalking our doubts. Strength can stretch and purr or pounce and wound. As 11, strength is prime and indivisible. Strength cannot be divided or split. It is fearless purity. It is one with the priestess, 112. A psychic matter and student, a psychic master and student. Strength has no children, but is eternal and waiting, always with us and ready. The energy of strength is transformative. It takes you in its teeth and pulls you from your cocoon. Its breath, it breathes life into your wings and companions you on your journeys. Strength is older than the Parthenon, as primal as fire. When you have the strength card, you briefly become immortal, a god who cannot fail or doubt. Use the card well. It is power. There are some powerful lines in this. I like when he says, it takes you in its teeth and pulls you from your cocoon. Use this card well. Good morning, Casey and Clevis. Namaste. This card is truly extraordinary, and I think it asks a lot of us. It has evolved to mean a lot of things over the centuries. And if you are, like I am, a bit of a mathematical nerd, if you are a linguistic nerd, you can take some time to journal about the innumerable words that have been on this card. Force, fortitude, maybe only four. Force, fortitude, strength, lust. There may be others. But the implication of fortitude versus strength is quite different. Force as well. And thinking about the connection among all these words, some feel quite superficial and ego-driven, whereas others seem to come deep from within. Fortitude is my favorite word for this card. I think fortitude is a quality that we are challenged with for most of our lives, to find that that source of fire that will help carry us through the most challenging of times. I think this quality is really important. The beast in this card wants to roar loudly, and whatever way you slay this card, it's about our light shining through, and hopefully in a quality that is resplendent, that is glorious, that shows our soul, shows our true energy. And there has been some conscientious effort to connect with it, not let it rule or control who we are, because control is it's a very tricky thing with this card. And you can see in many of the older cards where we have Hercules slaying the Nemean lion. That is one version of the card. We have in some of them that, there's that idea of I can control my inner beast by ripping its jaws apart. It is it's a really fine line between developing, yes, resilience, you're right, Casey, developing resilience and inner strength, and then taking that to a level that goes beyond our control. Good morning, Mary Beth. Traditionally, I don't believe there was a lemniscate on this card. The woman had a wide-brimmed hat that was in the shape of the lemniscate, and whether or not that was intended. I will be speaking to the way that the esoteric qualities of the tarot were introduced and how the Marseille slightly shifted, and earlier decks as well too, when I get into that in 2024. So that mystical, magical energy may not be there. This is a card more of finding a quality within to let your greatness shine through. This is a card of the sun, your center, your personality, your ability to stand and stand tall. And to let your unique light shine. To be able to roar when you need to roar. And thank you for all your comments here. And that roar can be in a declaration of passion. It can be in a declaration of victory, domination. It could be in whatever way, but that ability to tap into our primal fire energy must be cultivated early on in the journey. This is an important quality to develop in children. It's an important quality to spend time with if in your early years you were not allowed to let this light shine. And so here we find ourselves in 2024, and if this is your theme for 2024, find your own affirmation about letting your light shine and standing in your power. There's just so many beautiful ways we can express this energy in this card. Through adversity of every form, I stand in my integrity. And I think integrity is also a really important part of this card. Yeah, and there is this, thank you for that, Clevis. It's not about power over. Power over will be the shadow of this card. And as you know, tarot readers, right? Every card has dark side. And in its essence, this is about you and your glory. Being fearless when you need to be fearless. There's a sense of independence in this card as well, too. Being independently fearless, not relying on others to find that strength, but having it from within, so whatever conditions you find yourself in, you will be able to persevere through those. Mm. The In the Thoth card, there's a few things I want to talk about that are connected to the Kabbalah, just briefly. And one is where this card stands in the tree of life. And let me just show, I think this is significant. Let's see if, oh, I don't really want to, let's see what I can do here. Let me just talk and I will see if I can find you an image. Okay, let's do that. So this is one of 3 cards on the Tree of Life that runs horizontally. And this particular one is in the center of the Tree of Life. And there is something quite significant here. This illustration, by the way, the source of it may be from Bota, Bota, and I haven't been able to find its original source. I think I picked it up on Pinterest. And if you look at this, so here is the strength card here, and it's at the very center horizontal line on the Tree of Life. It's a foundational, it's an important connecting part that is at the center. And there's something really interesting here about its position, because many people will assign the solar plexus chakra to this card, which makes a lot of sense and can definitely speak to that. But if you notice here on the Tree of Life, it is above the center. It is above 6. It is above beauty. It's at this place that is very much connected to our heart as well too. It harmonizes the left and the right. It also harmonizes the down below here on this pillar is the horizontal path here is the tower, and then the one up here is the Empress is the top horizontal. So why am I sharing this with you? Just to show you in this way of thinking how strong and how important this connection is. It holds us together, and without this fire, we can't find that balance. And this is one of the beautiful connections between the 8 and the 11 thing. And that discussion of, well, is 8 strength or is 8 justice? And here on all of these cards, strength is 11, and it balances. It's at the center of the Tree of Life. It harmonizes these 2 pillars, the pillar of force and the pillar of form. So it's a very significant card in that way. The other thing too is that all of these paths have a Hebrew letter that is associated with it, and this particular Hebrew letter refers to the snake or the serpent. And in the Crowley card, and this is M.M. Moline's card, I believe she includes the serpent on the coming out of the tail, like the tail of the lion becomes the serpent. And I'm sure you're all aware of different serpent symbology, right? So this is central to the development of this fire, this life-sustaining force. Very deeply connected with embodying your Queen of Wands kind of energy. That goes without saying here. This would be a brilliant card to show up for someone who identified as male, who was losing their fire, losing their masculinity, or feeling disempowered. This is a very empowering card. So let's all embrace this as a component of our harmonization in 2024. To let it shine and carry and harmonize us in every way. The serpent. So this is my Mercury position here. Let's get the cards. Close enough. I was thinking of Asclepius, Hermes, the wand, Caduceus, and that connection. The potential for this empowerment to heal, and how we need this energy to heal. You know how the sun, right? The sunlight energy of is just being in the sun briefly every day is a very healing force. That life force energy externally is brilliant, but it also must shine from within in order to be healthy in every way, not just physically. Okay. So I'm going to lay the cards, and then I'll briefly talk to them, sign off, and sign back on again. Let's start with the Mercury card. 3 of Wands. All right, so an opening, a window, perhaps into, let's stay with the healing theme, and I'll expand on that a little bit. This feels like a wonderful opening into 2024. Of course, this could represent getting very clear about a purpose, a thought, or an idea, something you have been writing or developing mentally, intellectually. I'll just place all the cards down, and I'll just talk to a couple of the correspondences. That is the Son of Swords, the Mother of Wands over Saturn, Ace of Swords. All right, so we have a very powerful theme here, the Lovers. Okay, so that's really interesting. Depending on how you read the quartz, Knights as mutable, Gemini, Gemini. Where am I going to go with that? We have more swords. Okay, over the Earth position, we have the 9 of Swords. And then we have the 5 of Wands. Okay. Venus, Mars. This energy actively being incorporated as a strengthening of your self-identity feels really important here. The owl and the geese in the Lover's card are flying in opposite directions. Mars and Venus are going in opposite directions. Perhaps they are circling around. I just have this vision. They're circling around the whole year before they come back together. There's a sense of independence. Venus needs to find her word, something like that. I'll put more into this, but I really like that. Looking at this spread as a circle, as a sphere. Up at the top, these cards have been really interesting to look at the expansion and contraction. But the word feels Very important. If this is your card for this year, I would strongly suggest selecting a word for 2024. Perhaps picking up an affirmation practice. I'll come back to that. This level of protection in the Mother of Wands is self-protective, self-protective for sure. On the cards that are down below, over the moon is the Five of Wands, the Three of Wands is over Mercury, and the Nine of Swords over Earth. This clarity of mind and clarity of purpose feels really important. And I'd like to talk a little bit about unburdening and what it takes to move through this sort of an energy in the next part. Yeah, but an overall a sense of breaking away from and personal autonomy, finding the courage to stand on your own, finally picking up your sword and saying, okay, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, and I need to practice doing that. This feels like a big part of this energy for 2024. Okay, so for those of you that would like to hear a little bit more, I will be carrying on. This is the link for part 2. It is a members feature, and I look forward to seeing some of you there. I'll be back. I'll just reset, be back in a couple of minutes. Thank you for being here. Take good care. Namaste.